Good morning. My name is Aaron. I am doing this for my American government class. I just finished my project yesterday, and I want to talk about some of the things I have learned doing that project. Um, First and foremost, I have always been somewhat aware of media bias. I watch a lot of television, movies, so I wouldn't say my media literacy is below average. I'm very familiar with media, the biases that are in us and in it, but learning to see the media bias in journalism was pretty eye-opening. I had no idea there was even 16 types of media bias, but they all make sense. And what I think is really cool about school is that if you play your cards right, a lot of what you'll learn in one class can kind of play a role in another. Right now, we're doing a rhetorical analysis paper in English, and I got to read somebody else's paper, and I read the article behind it, and I realized that there was a lot of slant being used. They were cherry picking information. There was some mudslinging, there was a lot of different things that I managed to find, omission of the truth, in that article that I probably wouldn't have been able to pinpoint before. And that is because this class has given me the basis for that now. It actually has taught me quite a little bit about what it means to be biased. With that being said, I also used APA for the first time. Never used APA before a day in my life. I see why it is preferred for sciences and research topics. I think it looks very good. It's very aesthetically pleasing, kind of difficult a little bit, but maybe it's only difficult because I've done MLA for a long time and it's what I'm used to. Either way, it gives the paper a very professional aesthetic. The title page looks very nice. It's all formatted very well, and there's surprisingly a lot of freedom in it. So that's something else that I learned was how to use APA. And overall, it was a very, very eye-opening experience. I mean, especially when we got to the polls and we saw how media literacy actually has affected communities and people at the ground level and whatnot. Nobody trusts their media anymore. Like, nobody can put faith in media, and I think that is apparent when over half of Americans in 2017 said that they can't tell you an objective news source. They don't have one in mind. And it got really scary when I saw later on in the article that Republicans, 60% of them back in 2017, they would list Fox News as their objective media. And I think overall, that kind of perspective was what really opened my eyes, right? Because now we're in 2025, and I feel like things have only gotten worse in terms of media bias and how we use polarizing content to divide people. So this paper was a really good way to keep people involved. I think it was a really good way to keep people aware of their surroundings. And overall from it, I learned quite a bit.